Hey y'all, it's your boy Big Mike. You know that dude you be seeing on the streets and be like, hey, ain't that dude that be doing them YouTube videos? Yeah, that's me. And for today's topic, we're going to be talking about what was what was the past like 50 years ago. And this year in history, if I can talk today, y'all gonna have to bear with me. I just um watched my funeral, or the funeral of my uncle. That's Uncle Curtis, by the way, Curtis Smith, on sharing the live or whatever. So it's I'm kind of like having an out of body experience over here, just remembering him and everything. But I don't have any bad memories of my uncle, and what I liked most about him was mentioned in the funeral that he was a car guy. And it's like I remember, like, from the earliest recollection, that he always had a nice clean car. And the first one or the oldest one that I can remember, was him having a Cadillac, an Eldorado. And then his wife had a Mark 7, no, that's Lincoln. And then as the years passed, it evolved into him having a Benz and his wife having a Jag. And even later on, I mean the last thing that I remember him having was a Range Rover. So y'all can just tell that he's kind of, or did well for himself. So they buried him today. So I'm kind of bugged out by that. He was what I would consider the cool uncle. No disrespect to my other biological uncle, from my mother's brother or whatever. But my uncle Curtis, he was like, the movie Next Friday. He was kind of like the Uncle Elroy, minus all the cursing and drinking and smoking or whatever. But I'm gonna miss my uncle. I swear, it's been a number of years since I've last seen him, but knowing the kind of man that he was when he was around me, I know there's a place in heaven where he sits right now. So I'm gonna miss you, Uncle. Rest in peace. But we want to talk about this time in history 50 years ago. And before I get into all the statistics that's on this thumbnail, I'm just going to say that going on 50 years ago, come August 12th, I'll be 50. So I think that's like the most important thing for me to point out is my time in history. But a little about the news section said Bob Douglas became the first African American elected to the Basketball Hall of Fame. I guess I have to do a little more Googling and just see who Bob Douglas was. I mean, besides being just, in basketball or whatever. But some of the slangs in the 70s was psych and far out and dream on and right on, soul power. But yeah, I mean, I can remember the tail end of people saying psych, which also meant like just kidding, something like that. But far out, that was like, I guess, the Caucasian way of saying, like, yeah, that's really cool. I like that. That's awesome or whatever. So, we have Dream On and Right On, which was, kind of like unbelievable or unrealistic. And then Right On being you're in agreement with what's being said. So, let me just grab me a little bite here, here to eat. I have some turkey sandwiches and some potato salad, and I have a tea. I've been into my teas lately, so I got a green tea to wash it all down. I had to remember after seeing them have a flag over his casket that he was in the military. I believe it was the Navy, if I'm not mistaken. But man, I know his time is really winding down. I've had two uncles pass within a year and a half of each other, and it's just really letting me know I need to get my affairs in order. Everybody need to have a will and a beneficiary to inherit all the things that you accumulated, whether it's an inheritance of money or property. I know I'm not his son or anything, but I wish that he could have left me one of those nice vehicles that he was so famous for driving. Mm. Moving right along to this factor factorial about what things cost. A new house back in 1972 on average cost you like $27,000. That was like pretty cheap back then. It's probably hmm, more than 10 times that by now. So the median income was like $9,697. Yeah, I'm sure they were really enjoying that back then. I know it probably costs like close to 70 or something right now. What's up, Michelle? I'm gonna have to call you back in a few. I'm kind of in the middle of shooting my YouTube video. I know you didn't know, but I'm just saying I just got finished watching the funeral, and I'll holler back at you right after I'm finished recording. Okay. I'll holler back at you later. One of my Instagram friends. But yeah, 50 years ago, a stamp cost 8 cents. And that's really dirt cheap. And then it was like maybe 50, 55 cents now. But man, it's like things are just just progressively getting more expensive. Not that a 55 cent stamp is just extremely way out of the budget, but just like I can't imagine what is it going to be in like the next 50 years, like close to $1 or something for a stamp. I mean, I can understand if you need extra postage, if you're shipping it across the country or out of the United States or something, but I don't just really understand why things, the whole inflation and stuff like that just, gradually grows over time. Like, back in the day, I'm sure you could get a hamburger that I'm not talking about no little White Castle Crystal or anything. Something, a hamburger like that costs like less than $1 or something or whatever back then, but that cow, it costs a pretty penny nowadays, and especially if you're getting wagyu or some kind of expensive cut of beef. Excuse me. But a gallon of gas back in 1972 cost 36 cents. Mm-mm. Ask me why it's more than $3 now. It's the same gasoline that they was using using to fuel their cars 50 years ago. But all of a sudden, man, they just know when I'm recording a video to just hop on and just email and inbox me. Like my friend on Instagram, she just video chatted. Like, I couldn't just turn my phone off this time. I know y'all said, why don't you just turn off your phone? Well, I'm looking at my phone because I can't look at the thumbnail while I'm recording. So that's to answer your question. I did a video. I'm not sure. I don't think it was the last one I did. Maybe the one before. I was talking about inflation. Very ugly word. They need to raise the minimum wage. I believe that's what I was talking about before, the minimum wage. If all of this inflation is going to keep, taxing people, even if you're not the middle or upper class, we still, as the lower income people, need to buy gas and get to where we need to go, just like everybody else. But maybe that's just me talking out loud. But a dozen eggs, it used to be 52 cents back then. And a gallon of milk was $1.20. Ask me why it's a little more than double that now. It's crazy. Uncle Sam just, he got to get his cut. And what I thought was kind of interesting on the celebrity births, I already knew that the notorious B.I.G. Christopher Wallace, to those of you who don't know his real government name, baby baby, was born in 1972 also. And Eminem, and who I thought was a little bit older, but is still born in 1972, was Dwayne Johnson. Those of you who know him as The Rock from his wrestling days and all the movies that he's in. But yeah, he's born in 1972. Go figure. Even though he works out, keeps his body in shape, just in his face, I just thought he was like maybe another 5 years older than me or something. I don't know, but The Rock is 50 years old. Not really into sports, but the World Series championship was won by the Oakland Athletics. And then one of the in the movie section, what I thought was real interesting too was the movie The Godfather has Al Pacino and I'm not sure Robert De Niro might be in that one also, but that is like a real classic. I didn't know that it was that old. No, back in 1972 they made this movie. Man, That's crazy. The Godfather didn't make my top five, but the movie Goodfellas did. That is like, I swear, I love that movie, Goodfellas. I've had to watch that at least like 30 times at least. Like, I'll watch that back to back, and still, like, it's like you have to watch a movie like a number of times because you get distracted and miss certain parts and stuff. So it's like every time I'm watching it for the first time because I always see something that I didn't watch. Yeah, I missed or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. That's what happened. Excuse me. That's what happened like 50 years ago. Population of the world back then was 3.8 billion, and just in the United States alone, it was 209.8. That's an amazing number. Like, just it's amazing. Like, I mean, that number of people just in the United States alone. That's really something. But I guess I'm gonna just cut this video a little short. And I was just, man, everybody wants to hit me up as soon as I start recording any kind of YouTube video. I'm gonna cuss your ass out, Q. Like, man, that's gonna do it for this week, folks. Like I said, I'm kind of just out of it just because, like I said, my uncle passed, and it's like I didn't like the last time I seen him. It was long. It's probably around the last time when everybody was coming over for my grandmother's funeral, which was in 2015. But I'm still having a problem with her passing, man. It's like I know she was like 96 years old, no, 6 years ago, whatever. But um, I still miss my granny, and the time, like I said, time is really just winding down. Everybody ain't just living to the ripe old age of 80s and 90s and stuff like that anymore. My uncle, my uncle just passed, and he was just like 74. But I enjoyed him while he was here. That's just like, I guess when I pass and my time comes, I get to see him again, and he can just show me around the pearly gates. Uh, um, that's pretty much it, folks. I'm gonna call it on this one. Y'all have a nice day, and before I forget, if you could do a favor and just subscribe and leave a comment or two, let me know what you remember about 1972 or in that decade of time. Like, I'm a 70s baby, so I didn't just like really just start remembering what was going on until like a good 8, maybe 10 years later. I remember Ronald Reagan, back then, and I think Nixon was the president, like in 1972. But don't leave a comment and just let me know what you think about how the times have passed and how the price has gone up on certain things. But give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and y'all have a nice day. I'll holler.